Well, a good top of the morning to you laddies. We are on our way to our pickup. Just leaving the Petro here in Bordentown. Just topped off the fuel. Got a little over 117 gallons, I think is what it was. Of course, I can't remember like I used to. 127 gallons actually, and 4.2 gallons in depth. Quick top off. We got like no discount here. To be fair, the app told me that the price was like $4.20 something. I spent $4.12.9 per gallon. The pump price was $4.15.9. So we saved a whopping $3.80, but that's the cheapest. All the way up into New York after picking up the load, including here. We're going to spend quite a bit of money today on tolls. I'm going to take $2.95 here over to the customer, and then we're going to end up taking this stupid GPS and throwing it out the window because it won't shut up. I tried using Trucker Path. There's some things on there that I like, and I might keep it still. I don't know. I haven't made up my mind yet. I might just keep it and put it on mute. We'll see what happens. I do want to eventually get rid of this GPS. Anyway, that's beside the point. Probably going to be taking 476 all the way up into Scranton, up north of Scranton. Unfortunately, this weekend I have to take my steer tires back off. I'll probably do it tomorrow, actually, or not tomorrow. Today's Tuesday, the 30th, and I'll probably take them off on Thursday. Well, Thursday would be the 2nd. Probably finish up the deliveries, depending on what time I get home. Either Thursday or Friday, I'm going to take the tires off. I think the Centromatics are bad. I think they sat too long. I think they got some moisture or something in them, because as I'm moving, all I hear is click, 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 click. I think there's something wrong with the one, especially on the driver's side. So I'm going to take it off, make sure that click goes away, and then I'll probably stop at a Love's or something and just buy a new set, put a new set on there. That's best case scenario. Worst case scenario, there's something wrong with that rim, and I'm going to need to replace it. There is a bunch of flaking and stuff on the outside of the rim. There's no cracks or anything like that, but there could be hairline cracks. It's probably caused from over tightening the lug nuts. The one time my son tightened them on there, I was checking it with the torque wrench, and we got the torque wrench up to 650 pounds, and it was still clicking. The torque wrench, not the wheel. And it was a half-inch drive Milwaukee. It's what I got now, and I only put it on 2. He had it on 3, and wait until they stopped turning. So that's probably what caused the issue with at least there's like a clear coat on the rim to protect its finish, and that part got broken, so it's kind of flaky now. I'm still replacing the rim. It's just going to be a little bit before I do it. We'll figure that out. I got another idea. We'll figure that out. Anyhow, I got 24 miles to the pickup, and then let's see what we got, because we're going to a bunch of powersports places, utility sports. So from all of the places I was looking at, 2 of them were Kawasaki, and the other one is I don't remember what it was off the top of my head now, but it's some type of a power sports place, and they got side-by-sides, dirt bikes, snowmobiles. At all 3 of them, they got all sorts of different stuff. So, and it's only supposed to be like 15,000 pounds. Anyway, the plan is pick up, go deliver tomorrow, possibly the last stop on Thursday, and then head on home. And I'll be home until the 6th when me and my wife are going to head out on the road. I'm moving my refrigerator up here. Hopefully, well, not hopefully, I'll make it work. I just got to figure out how I'm going to make it work. It might be a strap going all the way around the upper bed there, but we'll make it work for at least 2 weeks. And then I'm also looking at buying a new microwave this weekend, like one like an air fryer type microwave, so I can start cooking up hamburger, steak, chicken, pork chops, stuff like that, and not constantly eating out and having to worry about what's in my food. So hang tight and we'll see you in a minute. Alright, so we didn't leave all the cool stuff behind on the flatbed. We're picking up a couple side-by-sides on this one. I don't know exactly how many are in there, so we'll know. He's calling for 8 straps, so that would mean that there's 2 straps per unit, so that we're going to get 4 units. That means one of the stops gets 2, and the other 2 get 1. Yeah, there's no other possibility for that. So one of the stops will get 2 units and the other 2 will get 1. We're doing side-by-side units. I don't know exactly which ones. It looked like they had a couple different ones. They were mostly utility, not sport. Man, that's all the information I got right now. I gave him 8 long straps. I had 1 long, 1 short back there. I put the short back in the truck in my bucket. My temporary bucket. That's my garbage can. I think I got a milk carton or something at home that I can put the straps in. I did quite a bit on the spreadsheet today. If you guys are following the spreadsheet, which I don't think anybody is, honestly. I really don't care. It is there. It is in the description if you're looking for a spreadsheet. It can be adjusted. It can be switched up to how you want to run it. Don't think I put it on this tab. I think I put it on a different tab. Yep, trucking spreadsheet. So I'm not getting any notifications of it. Wow, this dock has changed a lot. Reload. Hit to sync to the latest version, including your changes. Okay, reload. Yep. Last change I made was the whatchamacallit. And there's no comments on it, so I'm pretty sure it is set up for comments. So if you got a question or something, I do not check it periodically. If you leave me a message on here, I check all the messages that come through here. I don't get very many comments or anything like that, so I respond to all of them. But if you tell me that you left a comment on there, I can go in and check it, and we can have a little dialogue. I had just added a few things, so I'll probably retrieve those and put those on here. I think I added a few fuel locations and stuff. Yeah, comment only. I have it set for comments. Now, just a reminder, if you guys are interested in it, you can click on it. When you get to the home page on Google Spreadsheets, you'll see it. Here, I'll give you a quick show of what that tab looks like. So the tab would look something like that, and then you would just click on it. It gave you this menu, and it would just make a copy. Once you make a copy, I'll even click on it, make a copy. It'll allow you to rename it, trucking spreadsheet, just whatever I can click on, and then it'll make up the spreadsheet, and it'll create a whole new copy that you can edit it, that you can place edits on, and or not just edits, but you can completely fill it out and put it the way that you want. If you need to move something around, for instance, when we look back on it real quick, you don't like the order number, trip number. You want to change it from order number to load number. You just click on it and change the wording. If you don't, say you want the odometer before the shipper, you click on, right now it's in category F, you click on that, and then you click and hold and drag it over one spot. And then the whole column will move. Everything that is already in that calculation, when you switch it over to another spot, that calculation goes with it. So if there's a calculation, for instance, that's odometer is under G, and you make it E, every calculation with G1 or G5 will switch to E1 or E5. Whatever position you change it to. So there's no need to change anything else. You can just reorganize it how you want. From there, you want to add stuff in or whatever, you can. If you're with a company like Landstar, you can take your gross, and you can put another line in for your gross, and you can make it. I personally, if I were to go over to Landstar, I would take this spreadsheet, flip over. I would take this spreadsheet and I'd click on here and I'd add another line right next to it, and I would put right here, excuse me, I did that wrong, so we'll drag that over here, and I would just switch spots. I would put pay here, or I would put something like NTT, net to truck, or gross to truck, or just something simple, just truck pay, and then I would change this to gross. Gross pay. And then that would allow you to put in, say that your load, we're just going to throw an easy number out there, $1,000. Alright, I know I'm all over the place with this, but trying to look at the screen at the same time. Alright, $1,000, and then I'm going to make the truck pay. I know a lot of the guys there are making 65%, so I'm going to go equals. I'm going to click on that $1,000, and I'm going to times it by 0.65. And then you got your auto calculation. All you got to do is put in your gross pay, and it automatically gives you your calculation. We can grab this one here. Oops. And we can hit autofill, which is going to basically just take this. It's going to take this here, J3 to 33, which is this section here, and then all it is going to say is K3 through 33. That's all we did by autofill. We just copied it for that line. And that's pretty much it. Like I said, you guys can leave comments. If you need something changed, if you need help with something, if you're not sure how something on the spreadsheet works, reach out to me. I'm more than happy to help with what I can. I don't charge anything for it. It's all free. That's why I deal with Google Spreadsheets. Google Spreadsheets is free to use. It's just a good way to keep track of everything that you do. You can keep track of all your numbers. I just added on mine, I'm going to have to copy it over to this new one. Oh, that was the new one I just made. Okay, so I'm going to move that to the trash. I just added to the one that I already use, well, the one that I use. There we go. Come on. I went through my month and my quarter section, and I just added my tolls, my cost per mile for fuel, and then to give myself a better idea of where I'm standing, I did a percentage of revenue for fuel. So what the percentage of what I'm bringing in is going to my fuel, which currently is at 26.05%. That's basically not an average. I hate using average. That's an actual for the total 6 months of where we're standing. But that's taking into consideration January was 17.43%, February 25.24%, March 31.94%, April 28.02%, May 35.7%, quite a bit there. And then June 24.32%. The reason there was such a reduction, I believe, in April was because how much, I would say it was probably revenue versus miles, and half of the miles was empty. So, I mean, not half, but pretty darn close to it. 44% was empty. That was when I was doing all the trees and stuff. And then I have after my fuel and expenses of what I'm grossing each month to the truck. So those are a few things I just added in there. Like I said, I literally just did it today and last night. Last night I built a whole table for each month, and that broke down more of the cost per mile for tolls and fuel, and then the percentage of revenue needed to cover both of those. So that's kind of redundant. I put it to the month and quarter because that was just where it should have been to begin with. Putting it there last night was apparently just a time killer because that was too much. Currently my cost per mile, which is what it should say, not rate per mile, because I'm not making money, I'm losing money. My cost per mile as of right now between my tolls and my fuel thus far is 72 cents a mile, which is quite a bit. Or it's 20.08% of my revenue. So I'm gonna lay down and watch something. I felt them just go into the trailer with one unit, so we might get out of here pretty soon. Alright, there we go. About the best I can do right there. Not much more to show, but that's our load. We got 4 of them. 2 to the first stop, 1 to the second, 1 to the third. Now we'll just get these doors closed up, maybe, somewhere, somehow. Seal down before I drop it. Bingo was its name though. I recently bought a new lock. I do have one in the truck, but it's like a regular key. Where this one has, oh, I can't take it out until I lock it. I'll show you in a second. There, that there. And then we'll grab the other door. sticks a little bit. Now we'll get the seal put on. Make sure it snaps in. Throw the lock right on there with it. And that's the, got it all miscombobulated here. That's the key. So it's got an interesting shaped key. I have one similar for my kingpin lock. But that one has a kind of a U shape to it. That's old. I bought that. Whew. Actually, I believe that one was the old man's. I bought mine in the beginning of my career, back with Swift, 19 years ago. I think I gave that to my grandfather, if you will. And then I took this one off my father, which he got his probably around the same time, 2007. I think he got his from Schneider. He went and got his, that's where he got his license. Alright, so now I gotta make phone calls real quick. We're going up. I think we grab 476, not too far from here. Yeah, I gotta go down the road. I jump on 95 in Pennsylvania. And then jump on Pennsylvania 63. Or take Route 132. They both pretty much lead to the same spot, but 63 is better. It'll take me up US 1 to 276, so I got to pay for tolls on 276, and then jump on 476. And as of right now, the traffic looks good on 276, at least in that small section there. Got some traffic, some construction, I mean, on 476. Everything else looks pretty good. My GPS wants me to take the back roads up through New York. I'm not doing that. I'm going to take 81 straight up to Syracuse, jump on I-90, and then loop right in. So I'm going to give them a call now. Make sure I'm all good to deliver tomorrow. I should be able to get all 4 stops off tomorrow. Worst case scenario, I gotta wait until Thursday morning, but it is what it is. Either way, we got 1 seal for the first stop, and then those seals for the second or third. It's kind of stupid. Anyway, I'll get back with you. Alright, so I just wanted to show you guys the route real quick. That's what we're looking at. According to Google, it's 5 hours and 32 minutes. According to my GPS, which we'll switch that over real quick, summary, that's what that wants to do, and that's 2 minutes longer. 5 hours and 38 minutes. 6 minutes longer, sorry. And this is Syracuse right here, that little cross. So the rest of that's all back road, which is what it's trying to do here. According to this is, where is it? Oh, let me click on that. That's 337 miles on the dark blue line. Add this one here, if it'll let me. There we go, and that brings it down to 319 miles. So what is that? 18 extra miles. For that extra 18 miles, I'm going straight up 81. And it gives me a much, I want to say, yeah, it gives me a better opportunity for parking. I can stay at one of the rest areas, probably right outside of Syracuse. It looks like where I used to do the splitting for the, yeah, it's going to be right outside of Syracuse. Where are you? I don't even see it. What the heck? It's not that far. Oh, that's because it's 481. It's taking me up 481 to 90. Yeah, there it is. So I'm going to take 81 to 90 because I can stop there in DeWitt at the travel center. There is one other truck stop off of 365 before you get to Route 49, which I don't remember if it was Route 49 or 365 that I hit a pedestrian back in the beginning of my career. It was in 2000. Towards the end of 2008. I'd only been driving about a year. And that wasn't a rookie thing. That was the pedestrian. I was on a 4-lane highway, just to clarify. It was a 4-lane highway. No pedestrian access, and he was walking down the middle of the road in the middle of the night. I mean, it was like 10 o'clock at night, dark, cloudy night, and you could barely see 500 feet in front of you. It was just a really dark area. Even the cops said that they get so many people that get hit by vehicles through there because they're not usually walking, but because of crossing the road and stuff like that on like snowmobiles and stuff, it was pretty bad. But anyway, there's a truck stop there. I think they opened up the parking. I know it's got a Dunkin' and stuff in it, and it's like right there next to 90. Yeah. Oh yeah, they got all sorts of truck parking in there now. So I'm gonna check check Trucker Path as I get closer, and we'll see if there's any parking available. But I got a full clock right now, and I'm getting on it. I'm going to be touching on this at least one more time. At least that's my intention. By the end of the video. But right now, I've been doing a lot of idling. I just idled the whole time I was there. I did a bunch of idling this morning. I've been doing the Opti idle at night. It's been getting pretty hot. I don't deal with humid very well. I start sticking to stuff, and then I start stressing out and snapping. I guess snapping is the best way to go about that. But yeah, I don't do good with the humidity. With all of that, I have 1,543.8 miles right now since I reset this, and that was right after leaving Mercer with the van. 33 miles per hour, and 46 hours and 32 minutes of engine run time. I'm sitting at 8.1 miles to the gallon. That's an immediate savings of 5 miles to the gallon. And that 7.6 that I was getting before was at 65 miles an hour. I haven't been doing 65. To be fair, I've also been hauling pretty heavy loads. Or I was hauling heavy loads. I've been hauling pretty light loads, so a mixture of the better aerodynamics and the lighter loads, I've been doing pretty good. So we'll see what it looks like tonight when I get up there. I doubt it's going to change by much because we're already 46 hours into engine time. Anyway, that's the plan. All right, good morning. As a happy surprise, I shouldn't say that. I should start with I stayed where I planned on staying last night, just outside of Syracuse. Actually, it's kind of more like in Syracuse, East Syracuse. There's a big rest area. You get off of 81, you get on 90. Right after you get on 90, 3 miles, there's a big rest area right there. It's got a huge parking area, but that's mostly because you have the throughway doubles lot connected to that. The double lot where they don't so much break the doubles apart, but they break doubles apart there too. But they're either bringing in or splitting apart doubles in that area, or putting them together, I should say. But anyway, that's where I stayed last night. And then a nice surprise this morning. My wife, on her way to work, where she works in Syracuse today, stopped by to say good morning. So that was a nice surprise. I joked with her last night, but I didn't expect her to actually show up. Anyway, I was about to say we're 5 miles away from the first stop, but that is not true. 41 miles away from the first stop. Getting there later than I wanted to, and I really didn't stop last night. That's just the crappy part. After we left the pickup last night, or yesterday afternoon, I made one stop. Actually, the more I think about it, I only made the one stop. Coming up 476, yeah, I made the one stop. That was it. I stopped up on I-380, heading up to the Strand. The thing that held me back the most there, and it just clicked.
Take exit 33 on the right. Onto Route 365 toward Verona.
476 was completely shut down last night. They pushed us all off the highway onto US 22, so I had to take US 22 over to US 33. Pretty sure they're US routes, not 100% at this moment. US 33 up to I-80, take I-80 over to 380, 380 up to 84, and then 81. And then 81 all the way up to 90, 90 to where I stayed last night. I'm on 90 now, getting off exit 33 in Vernon. I think it's Vernon, New York, right here. Yeah, Vernon. Oh no, Verona. Verona, New York. There's a truck stop here I've been going to for years. They got a Dunkin' in it. I'm gonna grab breakfast real quick, and we should be into our delivery by 9:10. And then it should.
Take exit 33 on the right. Onto Route 365 toward Verona.
It's basically just a race for the clock today. Just trying to get to the last stop before they close. They're all pretty much, yeah, we'll take it when you get here. Or there's no appointment time needed or anything like that. I always make sure I call ahead, because the last thing I need is this thing to not shut up.
Onto Route 365.
Done. Last thing I need is to show up at the customer and then say, oh, we weren't expecting you. And they still do that. They still say, oh, we weren't expecting. Well, I talked to you guys last night. So that usually comes out, and then it's okay, no problem, we can take it. Then why you tell me you didn't expect me? What's that gonna get you? Water under the bridge. Anyway, we're gonna stop, grab something to eat, and then like I said, we got whatever miles I said to get up there. My mind just drew blank. See, breakfast is gotten. Here we go. A little bit of a better view. Well, this is a first for me. That's pretty neat. This thing's pretty cool. I don't care what anybody says about me doing van now. Walking out into that humidity and knowing I don't have to untarp a lot. I broke a sweat just standing out there. It's ridiculous. That humidity is nuts. Shut that stupid thing off. Alright, we're about 51 miles. I'm trying to program my trucker path for that GPS just to see if it kind of lines up. But I'm drawing a blank on how to do this. There we go. That's the easiest way. So I use this microphone a lot for talking to the tablet. So if I'm trying to do Gemini or something like that, I can just talk into this. I've just been clipping it on my shirt here because you want to see frustration. Let that thing mess up 3 times of not understanding what I'm trying to say, when every other time it's worked perfectly. I get pissed. 19310 US 11 Bordentown, New York. I bought this to do the videos, and it's good, but 2 things. I'm trying to cut back on while I'm driving videos, and the phone mount that I have set up right now. Oh, sorry. This thing has, let me do this, has that, and it doesn't go in because of the way my phone mount is. I have to put the phone the other way, which means I can't use the outside camera if I'm trying to catch something outside. I can't use the outside camera, so the best thing for me to do is to use the Pro video on the phone and then use my Bluetooth to talk into for while I'm driving, if that's the case. If I'm going to be doing stuff outside, then it makes more sense to use this. Like if I'm working on the truck or something like that, then it would make more sense to use this. Apparently I clicked the wrong button. Alright, so according to Ram McNally, we are 52 miles to the next one. We'll be there at 11:25. And then according to Trucker Path, we are 51 miles, 1 hour and 7 minutes, and it's pretty much going the same exact route. And there's even a way station in Boonville. Boonville, that's just fun to say. But yeah, I'm really happy at the moment that I switched to van. Let's be clear though, it is only my second load, and it's fairly a pretty easy one at that. I don't have to slide anything. I got the 2 units in the back. I'm using that padlock on the back to maintain security. Like this one, they gave me a seal for this first stop. Wow, that's a big pole saw. But I don't have a seal for the second and third stop. Which is not a big deal because the truck's not going to be unattended during the day. Oh, I gotta do my empty.
Turn at the
Alright,
first
we'll see you up there.
left to
23 minutes. 23 minutes, that's how long it took. In 23 minutes, I might just be finishing up taking straps off. Maybe not a load like this. This would be, well, if you put a load like this on a flatbed, we'd probably be on chains. At least one in the front, one in the back. They wouldn't be pushed up against the tires like they are on this. But even taking those 2 units off, which I don't think was very much weight. It's about half of it. 4,500 pounds. I can feel the difference. I can feel that. I let the air out of my seat before. Maybe I'm not feeling the difference as I thought. It is only 4,500 pounds. I think that's about all that's left now. That one side by side, that thing's pretty cool. That's one of them sport ones. I always thought it'd be cool to take one for a ride, but
Speed limit reduced ahead.
that sport one weighs 2,108 pounds, and then the other one's 2,430 pounds. So I still got 2,430 pounds on the back. 2,438 pounds.
Left curve ahead.
What the heck did I just say? You know, I said I'm an idiot. $2,108 and 2,430. So 45.38 is what's left. 2,430 will be what's left after we drop off the next one. I've had enough today. That humidity, man, it's just hot. Alright, we're here for delivery. We have to back up to this dockery. And just waiting for this guy to get out of the way so that I can back up to the dock. And it looks like he's about to move, but we'll see what happens. The truck is started. And seatbelt is clicked. And we are in gear. And they are going. Going and gone. Thank God. We still got plenty of time to get to the next. Ooh, still on record. Okay. So that went off pretty good. It took a little bit waiting for those vehicles to move and whatnot. He bottomed the front out when he started pulling off the trailer. He said the guys usually come with their own ramps. Okay. They had a Yamaha Bolt in there. That thing looked pretty sweet. Anyway, we've got 100 miles to the next one, to the last one. It says that we'll be there at 2 o'clock. I should be home by 4 at the latest. Yay me. When it comes to these side-by-sides, I would never, other than the sport ones, even then I don't think I would like to have one. I don't know if they have a gear-to-gear, but especially the utilities, I would never buy anything other than Honda, because it seems like Honda's the only one that has the CVT transmission, or doesn't have the CVT. Not that they don't have it. Honda's the only one that has the gear-to-gear transmission. It seems like everybody else went to that CVT transmission, and in my opinion, it's freaking junk. My father has a four-wheeler, and it's just junk. He's gone through so many belts and stuff on that thing. And me, when I'm working in the woods, pulling trees and brush and plowing snow, I mean, I'm going hard at it. I'm beating the crap out of that thing, and I want it to hold up. And the CVT transmission is not good for that type of use. So I don't know if they have like gear to gear for the sport ones, but to be fair, those ones are just like flying down trails and stuff. They're not really there for pulling and pushing. So anyway, here's my opinion on side-by-sides. Like I said, we got 100 miles. Well, now it's 105 because I missed the turn back there. Not a big deal. Alright, so this is a little bit into the future of the next clip. Kind of forgot to do the numbers here, so we'll do this real quick and then we'll finish up the video. This is our first load of the month. July 2nd is not today's date. I gotta fix that. Today's July 1st. Wow, I'm out of breath now. We made $1,773.21 on this load. 259 mile deadhead, 503 miles loaded, 762 miles total, with a $3.53 per mile loaded. $2.33 all miles, 34% deadhead. We made out pretty good, I think. And now I'm going to go home for a 4-day weekend. On to the end of the video. I'm trying to not do this in the truck, but I keep doing it. We just unloaded the last one. The unfortunate part, I got bad directions when I called in and talked to the operator here. Come in through this driveway here and backed up to the ramp. What I did was come in through here. I had to pull up and maneuver and snake my way through here. The ICC bumper got stuck on the ground here, so I had to slide the tandems real quick to lift that bumper up, and then I snaked my way back. And this is where we're at now. But we made it, and we're done. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay safe, and I hope everybody has a happy 4th. We'll see you in the next one. Shoot. Kind of need some numbers, don't we? Oh, we'll knock that out real quick.